All right, we are finally live. Hey, everybody. I'm so sorry about being late. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Fadia Thompson on Facebook. You can look me up. I am one of your leaders on the Wake Up Now Elite team. We're doing this training today. Hold on one moment. I'm just bringing my guest in. We're doing a training today for the team specifically because there is a system that we have in place that everyone has not yet plugged into. It's efficient, it's proven to work. Cam Vaughn will actually be coming in later on because she's going to actually assist in the training, and she's going to as well add some things that I may have missed or some things that she wants to share with you as well. Again, guys, I'm so sorry for getting started a little bit late. Just give me a second to send this link out to her again, and we'll get right into it. Okay, my fault, my fault. Turns out she didn't have the link. All right, so the blueprint training. What is the blueprint training all about? Y'all have seen me been talking about it for a couple months now. I've been I've been talking about how great it is and things of that nature. I realize that some people may not have gotten the chance to go through it yet, but I wanted to just really take this time to go through this simple system that was created by Rico McDaniel. Rico is a seven-figure earner in this industry. He actually did it by the age of 25. I'm not going to talk too much about him. I'll probably let Camber do that a little bit later on. But he created a system for all Wake Up Now business owners that is proven to work. I mean, I've seen a lot of things in this company, and don't get me wrong, we have some excellent training out there, free, available to the public. But this, by far, to me, is honestly the best, most simple, and easiest to duplicate systems out there. We have a new blueprint training group that was created a couple months ago. We have some great information in there. We have the simple breakdown on how to actually do this training. There's a lot of people that are watching this probably aren't familiar with it or aren't plugged into it. Our goal and mission is to get you guys plugged in tonight. I'm going to go through real quickly what the blueprint entails, and everyone that needs to be plugged in, I'm hoping after this, well, not I'm hoping, I'm sure after this you're going to want to be plugged into it because you're missing out on a lot of good information by not being a part of that. Now, as far as the training is concerned, there is actually a packet that was put together by some of our leaders, Jacob and Essence. Thank you so much for doing that, by the way. They put together a packet that actually tells you exactly what you need to do. It's almost like having a little starter kit when it comes to Wake Up Now. I have my sheets laminated. I have it laminated because obviously I don't need to fill these out as well. But a packet actually explains what you need, and it also explains, when it comes to our actual paper application, for you to have some handy. The reason why we want you to have paper applications handy is because we are a software solutions company. And technology does fail us sometimes. So if there is an issue with the website or whatever the case might be, instead of us all grunting and being upset and trying to blow up the customer service line, print out some paper apps. Have at least 5 or 6 of these handy at all times. I think I have 20 sitting here because just in case, even if you're doing a home event and you don't have enough computers to sign the whole room up, it's good to have these handy because you can either A, enter it in yourself or fax it over to Wake Up Now Corporate. One moment, please. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, now how the training actually starts out is when you bring in a new IBO, the first thing you want to do is you want to start off. I'm sorry, you can't see this. There's a glare on everything. I guess it's my lamination. Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay, never mind. When you get started, what you want to do is you want to have your new IBO fill out the 24-hour checklist. The 24-hour checklist is something to hold them all accountable. It gives them the necessary steps as far as how to get started with the business. Now, what's on the 24-hour checklist is, of course, their Wake Up Now website. You want to make sure that people know their websites, how to actually sign people up. We also want them to put their username and password on here. Listen, when I ask you for a copy of your 24-hour checklist, it's not to have your information for your back office. It's really more so about accountability to see that you've actually done it than knowing what your username and password is. And you want to also know the process flow. So I encourage everyone that's seeing this, especially if you're seeing this for the first time, to fill out a 24-hour checklist so you know exactly what this process entails. Okay, someone says they're not getting a link. Can you guys message me out there and let me know if you're having issues with the link, or if you have the link, can you help me by sending it out to these guys? I'm sending the link out to someone else. If you guys have the link, please throw them in the chats for me, because I can't keep pausing to resend out the link to everybody. But I'm going to go ahead and send this out to this young lady that's asking for it. And I'm about to keep rolling. No more interruptions until it's time to bring Miss Coach Key up when she arrives. Now, after you've done the first part of your 24-hour checklist, the next step is to join the text messaging service created by, it just text one to this number. It's created by the team also to keep you plugged in and updated with everything that's going on. We also tell you to go ahead and register for the products and services that interest you in the hub, whatever you can use. There's stuff back there for every single body. If you have AT&T, get your 22% off. If, excuse me, hi, Coach Key. She's here, guys. Yay. Okay, I'm joking.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for saying. Please throw them in the chats for me, because I can't keep pausing to resend out the link to everybody. But I'm going to send this out to. I think you're listening to me while I'm listening to myself. And I'm about to keep rolling. No more interruptions until it's time to bring Miss Coach Key up when she arrives. All right, Camber, I'm going to go ahead and mute you out. So after you've done the first part of your 20.
Okay, I can hear now.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, I was talking about the products and services, which is basically step 4 underneath the blueprint. Get your 22% off of AT&T. You get $100 worth of free stuff daily. Free. It doesn't matter what's back there. It's free. So go get it. Use the grocery coupons. Well, I don't care what your situation is, you have to eat. So why wouldn't you try to save an average of at least $40 per grocery trip? You know, set up your vacation club if you're a part of that. Your WUN Finance, you have a mobile application for it. TaxBot, there's no excuse why every IBO in this company should not at least have TaxBot and be using it. And if you go into the TaxBot, actually in the resources section, there's a TaxBot training collection that teaches you how to maximize your deductions. So that's the next step on your training, and followed by going to onetrain.com. If you guys aren't familiar with it, OneTrain is our corporate training website. It was done by our master distributor, Brandon Boyd. He has all kinds of product videos on there. It's very important that you know these products and services, not just know them, but also use them, because how can you tell somebody about something that you yourself aren't currently using? It shows you different ways to market the business and how to introduce it outside of this blueprint training that we're going over. And of course, the compensation plan. Now, the next step is one of the most important steps on this list, in my opinion, which is to make your list of top 20 people. 20 is just a starting point, but 20 people that just know you by name. It doesn't matter if you think they will or will not join the business, because as we always say, the ones you think will won't, and the ones you think won't will. You just want to make sure that you expose this business to them. So you go ahead and you have those, you make that list of top 20 people, because these are the first people that you're going to actually show the business to. And when you show the business to these people, know that this is just a starting point. Think of every single person that you know. And I have a list of memory joggers in the group where you can think of everyone from the person that washes your dog to your person that does your hair. All those people, I'm sure, wouldn't mind at least learning how to save some extra money. So, this is something that you can potentially share with them at the appropriate time, of course. Now, the next step on the 24-hour checklist is to schedule your first business launch party. The business launch party, out the gate, you're not going to know exactly how to do it. That's why we're here to help you. Now, the reason why you want to schedule a date is about making the commitment. Make the commitment to do so. Don't worry about it being perfect. We're here to help you. When it comes to actually closing people for your party, feel free to ask a more experienced leader or your upline to Skype in and actually close the room for you. It's not something that you have to do for yourself, but the first step comes from you, which is just making the commitment to do it. Make the commitment and actually stick to it, and we'll help you successfully launch your business to your family and friends. Now, after the business launch party on this 24-hour checklist, we ask you to write down your why. Your why, as Jacob always says, it stands for what hurts you. What is your reason for joining this business? Is it because you want to take your mom off this job she's been working at and she's miserable there? Is it because you want to open this salon? It needs to be more than I just want to make extra money, because that's only going to drive and push you so far in this business. What is your reason for doing this? Do you want to provide a better life for your children? Because I'm going to tell you right now, there are going to be hard times in this business. We all experience them. I'm not promising you that it's going to be 100% peaches and roses all the time. And this why is here to remind you why you got involved in this. Not only why you got involved, is the reason why you have to keep going with this. So make sure you take the time to write out your why and remind yourself, on those days that you get frustrated, why you continue to do this. Now, we also tell you to register for the Blueprint for Success 2-day advanced training webinar. I'm going to let Kiamra talk a little bit more about that later on. And the next step after the 24-hour checklist is the massive action plan. Listen, guys, again, the system is very simple. Everything I just told you all, I read it off of a sheet that's available to you to print out as well. Now, when it comes to your massive action plan, what this is actually going to do is going to teach you how to market to your list of 20. It teaches you how to pique interest, gives you some ideas and tips on how to do so, and how to actually expose those 20 people to the business. It can be a simple conversation as far as you calling someone up that let's say that this is your friend that you haven't talked to in a while. Hey, guess what I found out? If you say, guess what I found out, what is a natural human reaction? They're going to say, what is that? Of course, they're going to say, what is that? And at that point in time, you can respond with something along the effect of, I just found out a way to help you take care of that daycare bill next month. Whatever bill it is that friend is always complaining about, whether it be the daycare, the car note, rent, let them know that you found a way to help them take care of that or to pay it next month. Whatever the case might be, they're going to ask how. You just want to get them curious enough to ask, what is it that you're doing, so you have the option or the opportunity to expose them to this. And if you feel like you need to just simply say, hey, what if I could show you a way to save some extra money on things that you're doing every way? Would you be interested in knowing more? Simple. You just want them to take a look at this. Don't worry too much about going for the kill. Just get their interest piqued enough to where they're curious and want to see this. Now, if that person lives within driving distance of you, go to them. You're going to go to them and you're going to sit them down and you're going to share this information with them. Now, when it comes to sharing this information with them, you actually have a few different options. We have a plethora of Wake Up Now videos. On the Blueprint, you have yourfuturegameplan.com, awesome presentations put by the Dream Team Blueprint, that you can use to expose the opportunity. But what I love is something else that is in your Blueprint training, which is called the one pager. I don't know if you guys can really see this, but if you are looking at this one pager, again, mine is laminated and it is a tax write-off, so you might as well go ahead and do the same thing too. This one pager is pretty awesome because at the top it has a phone number for you to actually call. Call that phone number Put the phone on speaker and rest the one pager down. This is like having a PowerPoint with all the slides on one sheet. It's going to talk them through the entire presentation. So it's just a simple show up at their house, get straight to business, have them sit down and take a look at it. But while they're taking a look at this, a video, whatever it is you decide to do to expose them, make sure you sit up and you're eager, you're attentive, you have good body language and good posture. You don't want to just say, "Here, girl, listen to this," and get on the phone and call whoever. That's not how you expose the business. You want to make sure you come in there with a whole different demeanor so they see that you mean business, because these are your family and friends. Your family and friends, they expect you to be a certain way about something. You need to show them first that you are really serious about what it is that you're doing. And after you've exposed them to it, the last step is the most simple step, which is a three-way close. We always preach the three-way close. So all you're really doing, again, is piquing interest, sharing information, and you're passing the ball to your upline. That's it. At this point in time, your upline is going to be there to clarify, answer questions, and if there needs to be any more of a discussion, they'll be there to back you up, to help you get that person into the business. And once you've done the three-way close, rinse and repeat, and go through this continuously and continue to build your business. And the same way you're building your business, you're going to help the people that you bring into the business build theirs. Our goal is really to get you ranked up as fast as possible. If you're starting today, or if you're starting over today, you can go out and literally get your 3 people within the next 24 hours if you follow this system. Very simple. Now, I'm not going to go through everything on this massive action sheet because it's basically what I just said, but a more extended version of it. Again, you can print this stuff out. It is all available to you in the group in packet form, and it tells you exactly how to do it per this sheet. Now, excuse me. So I'm not going to go over that anymore. We've already gone over the one pager. Once again, it's available with that. I'm going to go ahead and bring Kiamber up to take over. For those of you that aren't familiar with Kiamber is an F6 in the company. She's a dear friend of mine. You wouldn't believe that I've only met this girl in person twice. And one time she was asleep the whole time.
It was a long weekend.
And the other time, it was just more of a quick, "Hey girl, you look cute," and kept it moving because we were at the New York Regional Conference. But I've seen her from the beginning when she used to talk to her non-entrepreneur family and friends about how the man wasn't going to get more than a couple months out of her. And lo and behold, she retired early, Again, it's so great to really see like what a difference a year can make in this industry. Just keep working hard at it. Everyone is not going to see success at the same time, but as long as you continue to strive, I mean, she's the prime example, because when I met her, I know she was fed up. She's ready to quit. And she was getting paid with the company. And she's an F6 now. She retired from her job after 4 months in this company, and the rest is history. Sky's the limit for her. So I'm very honored to have her come and speak to you guys today. I'm going to let her take over now. Miss Coach Key, the mic is yours.
Why are you so much? Oh, Lord. Okay, hey everybody. I don't even really remember what. I'm just going to kind of freestyle this a little bit. But basically, I know she's kind of been going over the products and services and the different things that you can use to help to facilitate your business. I'm just going to go over a couple of things and help you guys to understand the vision that we have with the blueprint, where we're trying to take this I guess you can say group of people who are plugged in and potentially take this company to another level, one step at a time. So I know she has gone over, the 24-hour checklist, the massive action plan. She's kind of showed you guys the one pager and different things like that. I want you guys to understand the importance of having a system, okay? A lot of people understand that training is important, but most of the time when they have access to training, they don't even use it. And they might sit there and they might go through the training, but then they fail to implement. A lot of times they tell you knowledge is power, but in this case, it's not. You can have all the knowledge in the world. If you're not going to go out and implement what you learn, all you're doing is screwing yourself up, and you're keeping yourself from being successful. So basically, you know, the system, which is what she kind of already showed you guys, is a 24-hour checklist, the massive action plan. I always print out this is the how to enroll people through a paper app, and then the one-pager. Now, first of all, if you guys don't know yet, you should be doing home meetings. I know that you might hear people talk about it, but so many people are so trying to be lazy and trying to do everything behind a computer. If you pay attention, most of the top earners, the ones who we started from the computer, a lot of us are out doing trainings in person, you know, flying out to meet some of our larger teams and different things like that, traveling the country, because we understand the importance of getting out and doing stuff in person. Okay, it all starts with the home meetings. You know, internet can only get you so far, especially if you're not really that good at creating good relationships through the internet. It can really, really mess you up. So with the system that we have provided, we've tried to make it a lot easier for people. We've tried to make something that's very, something that people can duplicate, because at the end of the day, the harder it is to duplicate for you, the harder it is for you to rank up and make money. So we've made it as simple as possible, but for some reason, people still don't even want to do the simple stuff. I don't know if it's because we're so used to only having to sell ourselves on an interview to get a job, and then from there it's just like you show up, you do whatever you're supposed to do, and you make money. This is a business. It's not going to work that way. Okay, you have to put in a little bit of work. Is it tedious work? Yes. Is it hard work? No, it's not hard at all. The only thing that's hard is making sure that you stay consistent, because we as humans are very inconsistent with things a lot of times. So, I mean, the way I see it, anybody can fill out a 24-hour checklist. I've informed my teams that when you're doing a home meeting, already have, you know, maybe 10 or 15 of these filled out, even more. Because what ends up happening, let's say, you know, you have a home meeting and you have 2 people that end up signing up. It doesn't matter if they end up signing up on your team, somebody else's team. It doesn't really matter. It's all about implementing the system throughout the company, something that's easy for everyone. So let's say I'm having a home meeting and Fadia sends a few prospects to my meeting and 2 of her people want to sign up. Guess what? I'm going to have them sign up under her link, okay, right there in front of me. And once I see that everything goes through, guess what? I'm going to give them this piece of paper to fill out. And I can easily, once they fill this out, I can take a picture and send it to Fadia so I can show them, hey, I got your person started off on the right foot. This is easy stuff. This is basically getting them committed from day one. Instead of trying to go back a couple of days or 3, 4, 5 days later, maybe a week later, and saying, hey, did you fill out your 24-hour checklist? No. Do this stuff right away. The people who I've had who have started filling this out within their first 24 hours, even if they haven't started signing people up, guess what? Part of this is going through and downloading all the apps and getting all of your... Because what you have to understand is, when you haven't created that success story yet when it comes to the monetary part, it's very easy for you to create a success story based off of the products that you're using. Okay? Right now in the an iPad case is normally, I think it was $30, and they have it for like $1.06 or something crazy. So if you were a member and you were able to save on that product, if you go out and talk to somebody and say, you know, let's say you signed up yesterday and you're talking to them and they say, well, how much money have you made? Well, I just started yesterday, so I haven't started making money yet, but guess what? As soon as I logged into my back office, the first thing I seen was a deal where I'm saving $30 on something. So now my $100 fee I just paid was really just $70 because I just saved $30 on something. You guys have to understand the value of what we have, and it tends to be very difficult, and not to throw any shade or, you know, say anybody's doing anything wrong, but when you're only promoting the money, 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 lifestyle, 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 retire early, different things like that, you can end up screwing yourself over. Because if all you're talking about is money and all you're talking about is the lifestyle, but you don't have the money or the lifestyle yet, you screwed yourself. Okay? But if you're talking about the value of the products and services, which the only way you can talk about it is if you actually use it. Because people can tell whether you're just talking just to talk or you're talking from experience. okay? So when you're talking about the value of the products and services and you can show that, that's really going to help you. Anybody who knows me, you guys can go on Facebook, get on your computers, go on Facebook, go look when I first started Wake Up Now in March of last year. You will see that I always showed, you know, my tax spot, I always showed my WUN Finance, I always showed Trevani product, any kind of things. You know, I was never really talking very much about the money. I might have talked about how I retired every now and then, but it was never really about that stuff. Just with the enterprise discount that we get, you know, I've rented probably, I've probably rented maybe 25, 30 cars in the last 7 months, probably more than that. And usually I rent them for anywhere between 3 and 10 days at a time. So if I'm getting 10% off on my rental car, plus I have an underage fee, which underage fees are $10 to $20 a day, depending on what company you go through. And I'm not having to worry about paying extra for extra drivers because most of the time I have somebody that's with me. If I'm saving that much money on every rental car, I mean, that's a conversational piece, okay? But most of you guys can't have those conversations with people because you're not talking about anything that people care about. You have to understand people can make money anywhere. Okay, I can go get a job tomorrow and make money. This is all about helping people understand how to be a great customer. So anyway, sorry for my ramble. Back to the system. This is easy, okay? After you get them to fill out this entire form, the next thing you want to do is go to the massive action plan. I signed up someone about 2 weeks ago. She is in her 40s, I believe, so she's not really on social media. She's all the way in St. Louis. I live in Dallas now. She filled out this form. She had her first meeting Saturday. She has 7 of her friends show up. I told her exactly what to say to get them to show up, and she has 2 people signing up this week. Okay? Simple stuff. And guess what we're going to do with her 2 people? We're going to get them to do the exact same thing. You know, launch their business, do a launch party, and do the same thing over and over and over until everybody just duplicates on their own. So once you get to this paper, the massive action plan, you know, this is just all about making sure that you're... Sorry, hold on a second.
I swear, Drake always missed things.
Ah! Sorry. I forgot to turn my phone on silent. Anyway, so yeah. So when it comes to this paper, this is just all about, you know, making sure that you're staying on track. Understand, when you fill out your 20 people that you want to talk to, the world doesn't stop at 20 people. There are billions of people in the world. If you stop at 20, you're just messing yourself up. Every time you talk to one person and you cross them out, go write another person at the very bottom of that list. And like Fadia told you guys earlier, use a memory jogger if you have to. If you can't think of 20 more people, go Google memory jogger. It's going to tell you all kinds of people that you can talk to. So this will get you all the way to learning how to get to Founder 4. When it comes to the paper apps, you can find this in the back office. I highly suggest you guys always have these at home meetings because the simple fact is we're dealing with technology. You know, technology is going to mess up sometimes. Sometimes I'm riding down the road on the phone and my phone just cuts off. Sometimes I'm trying to send a text message, the text message doesn't go through. So naturally, with the technology of Wake Up Now and signing people up online, you might be messing, you know, the system might crash sometimes. It's technology, whatever. So I always tell people to have these because at the end of the day, if you're sitting there ready to enroll somebody and your system messes up and they're not letting you enroll someone, you don't want to end up having to wait until the next day to try to call that person because guess what? If they go home, they might start researching, find some crazy stuff that they don't know how to interpret the correct way, and you can end up losing that person. So if they can't sign up online, you say, hey, you know what? The system looked like it's messing up. It's technology. I'm sorry for that. Let's go ahead and get your paper app filled out. I can fax it right now, or I can email it over to Wake Up Now. We can have you going in the morning. Simple stuff, all right? One pager, always have on the back the compensation plan because as the recording is going through the different boxes, of course it goes to the compensation plan on the back. All right, so that's it as far as that goes. Now, what I want you guys to understand is the vision of what we have, okay? So far, we have had 5 blueprints. We started off in Atlanta. We've been to Atlanta twice. We went to Detroit twice, and we've been to Houston once. the biggest crowd that we've had thus far has always been Atlanta, because that's kind of where they're based out of. And both times there were over 250 people there. For those of you guys who don't know, basically with the blueprint, it's $100 for a 2-day seminar, okay? And what you end up getting with the seminar, first of all, it's about 14 hours of like hardcore training, a lot of substance. I'm going to show you guys just how much substance it really is. Now, I don't have my binder from the very first one because I went to St. Louis right after that and I accidentally left it at home. But this is one of my binders. And you guys can see, like, I literally took notes all the way to the back. So this was my second blueprint, and I pretty much got all the way to the back. Like, I was basically learning this much new information, okay? So then we went off to Detroit, and Detroit was pretty much the same way. I took notes all the way up until here, and I still have some notes in this little thing too, okay? A whole binder full.
If I may interject real quick, you guys, she's actually a blueprint trainer, and she's managing to take this much notes. I just wanted to highlight that. Continue.
Yes. So then here was another blueprint. This one was another, I think this might have been the last one that we were in Atlanta. I got about halfway through this one because I actually was helping to train on some stuff, so I had less things to really because I was actually in the front of the room at one point too. Yeah, so I got halfway through this book. So I need you guys to just really understand that it doesn't just stop at when you hit your rank, you know, and the type of information that you learn is information, a lot of the information is stuff that you would learn sometimes in the older companies that's been around for a long time. They have a lot of training and different things like that. Because we're so new and a lot of the leaders and top earners in this company are so young, and maybe this is their first or second company where they've actually been successful, and a lot of them it's their first companies being successful, and we don't really know this kind of stuff. Okay, so when Rico McDaniel came in, and he, I believe they joined in, Justin Owens joined in May. He hit Founder 5 in 30 or 25 days or something. And I remember they had a meeting down here in Dallas. Shaquille kind of brought them down here to do a hotel meeting, and then he wanted them to meet us because he wanted us to see the vision and what was going on. And I remember before we met them, Shaquille and Brandon just kept saying, oh, we have so much stuff going on, you know, you guys should be really excited. And, you know, sometimes it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, y'all ain't got nothing going on for real. Whatever, you know, whatever y'all say. And so once I was able to see Rico and Justin, you know, perform just the presentation, it wasn't even really very much training. It was like, man, these guys are sharp, and I want to put myself in the position to be just like them. I want to make sure that I'm in their circle because they have something going good here. You know, they teach on mindset things, how to deal with different personalities. They teach you belief and attitude. They teach you, they kind of go into really good detail during the 14-hour training about the products and services, because some people aren't really that up to date with why things are good for them to use. They go in detail about the compensation plan and how to best structure and build and different things like that. And they go into things that people really need to understand. Really, some of it is just in life, period. How to communicate with people and just different things like that. So when you have this type of training for the cheap price that it is, you guys, the 14-hour training is $100. Okay, the first so many people end up getting into VIP, which basically is, you know, you sit in the front, and there's some other perks with the VIP. But yeah, it's $100 for 14 hours. And the amount of information that you learn is crazy. You know, even if you're pretty knowledgeable about the industry, you're still going to have that aha moment. You know, I basically just showed you guys 3 binders full of information, and I have a 4th one, you know, somewhere else. But just understand that the learning never stops. I can show you guys this too. I just went to the Champion Speakers Boot Camp. It was a boot camp with about 40 people. When I tell y'all it was so intensive, oh my gosh, like I was ready to cry because we were just up for so long, and we had like, it was one of those things where you got these assignments like last minute, and you had to like do all this crazy stuff. And so at the end, you know, they sold some CDs. I can't even remember how much I paid for it, to be honest, but this is basically the whole program. I got it on CD form, you know, and understand I'm not getting this stuff for free. I'm paying for all of this stuff because I see the value in continuing my learning and continuing to develop personally and, you know, different things like that. I've also invested in his book, and I have all of these personal development CDs, okay? The grind doesn't stop. The learning doesn't stop, period, point blank. So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, how serious are you about this, right? Because some people will say, oh, well, I need help, I need training, but they won't go through it. They won't hit up their upline if they have questions. You know, when you get a job, what is the first thing that they do when they hire you? You go through training first, because they don't want to just put you out there and throw you out to the wolves and hope that you don't screw their company up by not learning how to answer the phones correctly or not knowing how to approach a customer in a store correctly. You have to go through training. It's the same thing here. But just like I said, even with the job, once you learn how to approach that customer the correct way and you learn how to answer certain questions, guess what? You start to implement that. When you see a customer come into the store, what do? You greet them the exact same way you were trained how to do. When they have questions, you answer them the exact same way that you were taught how to do it. So what is the point of some of you guys going through the training, knowing that you have access to all of these great things, and even some of you guys who have invested and went to the blueprint, but you're not implementing what you learned? What's the point? You know, you have to take responsibility for your own business. It's not your line's fault. It's not your cross line's fault. It's not Kirby's fault. It's not Jason's fault. It ain't it's nobody's fault but yours if you are not successful. Because as I've said plenty of times before, the proof is in the pudding. Okay. When we joined Wake Up Now, there were less than 2,000 people in the entire company when I joined in March. So the fact that there are over 150,000 IBOs, I think it is now, like, the proof is in the pudding, okay? When we joined, I believe there was, well, in January of last year, I believe Kirby said there were 13, was it 13? I think there were only like 13 people in the whole company who were founder 3 and above in January of last year. Now there's over like 3,000 or something crazy. I mean, it's just one of those things where you have to be honest with yourself. See, me, I know how to be honest with myself. On the first of every month, I take a step back and I look at myself in the mirror, and if I can't tell myself that I've done the best that I could possibly do, then I know it's time to get to work. Okay? But not everybody can be honest with themselves like that. But if you have people like Fadia and me and, you know, hundreds of other top earners who have gotten to this point, obviously the system works, you know, the company works, the compensation plan works, the products and services are obviously sellable and presentable, so the only variable is you. It's just like math. When you get into algebra, what is it? You know, you have x plus y equals this and whatever the case may be, and you always have to solve for x, you know? So if you have everything else is constant, the only thing that can ever change is the variable, and when you change the variable, it's going to change your results. So if you change the variable, which is you, in the negative, then obviously your results are going to be less than someone who has, you know, who's that variable, who's doing everything positive and doing what they're supposed to do to, you know, be successful. So, you know, use what you guys have, no matter what it is, you know, reach out. Now, I'm not telling you to ask every single question that comes across your mind, because at the end of the day, you are an independent business owner, okay? I remember when I first started, we didn't even really ask each other questions because we knew nobody knew anything. So we would Google stuff. I mean, we were doing all kinds of if I could tell you guys the stories of the things that we were doing when we first started, like, it was outrageous, okay? We didn't even really do 3-way calls for real. Like, if we had a prospect, it was so crazy. It was me, Brandon, Shaquille, and Tremaine. when we had a prospect and we already talked to them, showed them the video, and they had questions, we would all like put them into a group chat. So it would be my prospect and those three and me. And we would go and we would answer all their questions. We would close them out. Next one. Y'all got a prospect? All right, cool. That's just how we did it. I mean, we had to learn a lot of different things. And we didn't have any training, you guys. All we had was the conference calls, the corporate calls, and Robin had like a some type of like journey to success thing. I always forget what it was called. So it's just like seeing what we have now. If I had this stuff when I first started, do y'all understand? I would have been global by now. Like, oh God, y'all don't understand. So many trials and tribulations and, you know, screwing up this just to come out with this. And it was just so much just trial and error that we basically made it easier for you guys because we screwed up. We're trying to get you to our ranks faster, but you have to listen. I have people on my team, I kid you not. Now I have a training website set up for my team. They can access it 24/7. We have training calls every Sunday. We have opportunity calls 4 times a week. And I still have people on my team, and they have my phone number and everything, who comes to me and says, hey, can you give me some tips on being successful? What? Hey, Key, I need help. I'm stuck. Okay, well, you haven't sent me your 24-hour checklist, so obviously you haven't even been through the training. Or the fact that my training website is a membership-only area where you have to register. Listen, I can see who registers and who don't. Even if you register but you never log in, guess what? I can see that too. I can see how many times you logged in, the last time you logged in, how long you've been on the site. So if you never even logged into the site, guess what? When you hit me up asking for help, I ignore you. It's not to be ignorant. It's not to think that I'm an a-hole or anything like that, but you have to help yourself before I help you, before Fadia helps you or any other top earner. So use your resources. If you're going through this stuff and you have questions, reach out and ask. It's no problem with that. But understand that even though you're in business for yourself, you're not by yourself. But you can quickly find yourself by yourself if you don't even utilize the resources that you have. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't help anybody who don't want to help themselves. I had somebody who listen, I signed somebody up about 12 or 13 days ago, right? Now, before I signed them up, oh yeah, you know, I'm not gonna quit this time around, this and this and that. I'm like, okay, you know, usually people that say that, they're the ones that's gonna quit. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out why his volume is still not attached to him. So I hit up corporate today. They're like, oh, he called in and canceled. I'm like, what? So I remember like maybe 5 days after he signed up, he sent me this long message about, you know, I talked to my first 20 people and they all broke or they don't want to spend the money. I'm like, now this is just my response. I'm not telling everybody to be this ignorant. No, it ain't even ignorant. Just this straightforward. I'll say that. I said, well, if usually your 20 people that you put on the list are your 20 closest family and friends. So if the 20 people that are around you are broke, don't see the value in business, that says a lot about you. Because you came to me wanting to join because you had 2 jobs and you were 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. You literally had to wait 2 weeks to sign up because you were working so much overtime. You didn't have a day off until your birthday. So you can't expect the people around you to want to do this because obviously you've never wanted to do something like this and take it serious in the first place. So then I guess what happened is he canceled because 4 days ago he writes me this super long message and he was just like, oh, you know, I know you get signups every day and every week, and it seems like the magic number is 3. So how about this? Can I do this to where I pay you $100 for every person you put under me? I'm like, bro, what? I was like, no, actually I can't. But what I can tell you is there are billions of people in the world, and you can find your 3. And it wasn't to be mean. It's just like, what? Now, the worst part is I have somebody signing up on Wednesday, and naturally, just the way that I built my team, they would have naturally been the first person under him, but he'll never see them because he called to cancel. And he never sent me his 24-hour checklist. All he did was send me a list of 20 names. I don't know what that means. You could have just picked 20 random names. I can write 20 names right here on paper, and it might be 20 people. I don't even know people that have those names. I'm just writing them down. So you have to be committed to doing the simple things. Do step 1. Do step 2. Do step 3. I mean, it's literally just like step by step. Now, she went over everything kind of quickly. If I did make a I think I did a Google Hangout or something. I don't even remember what it was. But there is a recording on my YouTube channel, or is it on my
The Hangout that you did a couple months ago, it's in my group. The ones that are in it can see.
Okay, cool. Well, I know some people on my team are on, and they might have invited other people from other teams. But if you're not on either one of our teams, you can go to my website. Actually, go to kiambervon.com/blog. Or you can just go to kiambervon.com and click blog. There is a video. It's like an hour long where I literally go through step by step by step. I think I even go over some examples of how to invite people to the presentation, to a conference call. I go over all kinds of stuff. If you need more in-depth stuff, go to it. Go watch it. If you're in her group, go watch it. Just follow the system, you guys. The system is here to make things so much simpler for you, because some of you guys, it's like you're trying to find a shortcut to the shortcut, and I don't know why, because the shortcut is the shortcut. You know, if I go into MapQuest and MapQuest shows me this is the shortest route to my destination, but I start trying to come up with my own route, well, maybe it's already showing you this is the shortcut. Okay, this industry, the network marketing industry, is your shortcut to retirement. Even if it took you 10 years to hit global executive or whatever rank that you want to hit so you can walk away from your job, even if it, let's say the walk away from your job is Founder 5. Okay, we're just going to say Founder 5. If it took you 10 years to hit Founder 5, and understand this was my vision, this was my mentality and why I am where I am. If in 10 years you're not going to be making Founder 5 income at your job, guess what? You're still winning. Because if I walk away from my job in 10 years, I'll be 33. That's much for, I forgot I'm 24. Sorry. Anyway, so if I retire from my job at 34, that's still how many years early? That's still like 30 years early. You're still winning. So if this industry is the shortcut, why are you trying to take a shortcut from this? Do exactly what we tell you to do. We're trying to help you get to our ranks a lot quicker, but you have to follow the system and you have to implement. Period, point blank. There's no way around it. I think that's it. I feel like I've been talking too long already.
No, it's great stuff. They're still tuned in. If you want to keep going, Coach Key, by all means, it's your show, girl. Do your thing. I'm sorry.
No,
I'll be
I just really want people to understand how important training is. And also, personal development. Let me tell you guys. Because my personal development goes outside of these CDs, okay? I wish, I don't have my iPad on me, but I have so many Kindle books downloaded. I have like 5 books on network marketing downloaded to my, like a PDF file on my computer. Someone gave me the Danny Johnson, I think it's like your first year in network marketing or something. It's a book, but I got the PDF version of that. Like, you can find the PDF version for almost everything. I'm going to tell you guys how personal development helped me personally. Now, Fadia can attest to this, okay? But I hope she doesn't attest too much, because then I might have to get on her after this hangout. But anybody who knows me know, I have an issue with my temper. I'm not going to call it an attitude problem. I just really have an issue with my temper, okay? I've had this issue since I was a child. Don't shake your head too hard. I've had this issue since I was a child. And it's not that I'm someone who likes things to be fixed right away. It's just it's like when I know the answers, I want somebody to listen to my answer and just shut up and take my answer and make things better. Like, that's just how I am. I don't like not being in control, because I know when I'm in control and I know what to do, then I can fix things so much quicker. So for a long time, I was just snapping on everybody. Me and Fadia went like 2 months without like barely talking, because I was snapping on her, she was snapping on me, I was snapping on everybody around me. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know if it was personal stuff, business stuff, team stuff, me. I don't know what it was, y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all I was snapping off. So, you know, it's one of those things where we preach personal development, but sometimes even us as leaders don't understand that we too need personal development. Now, we might not need the personal development that's going to keep our mindset on, you know, staying in, you know, for the long term or anything like that. But sometimes we need certain personal development things done and going through it to help ourselves just become better leaders. Because it wasn't right for me to snap off on people. Now, I wasn't snapping off on everybody. So, you know, when you sit there, and I think the first book that I started getting back into reading was it's called Vibrational Immersion, The Think and Grow Rich for Network Marketers. It's by Ray Higdon. It's 99 cents. Go download it. You can download it off of Amazon. It's a Kindle version. I'm telling you, that book is amazing. Every single person on my team that has gone through that book has absolutely loved it. And it's kind of a short book, but it's so much content, and because it really helps you with your mindset, like, it's literally taken me about 2 months. I'm still not all the way done with it, because it's like I have to read like 5 or 6 pages and really just like let it marinate and then not touch that book for a couple of days. But ever since I started reading that, I had to read a book called A Woman's Worth, which, you know, helped me with some stuff. But it's one of those things where it helped my mentality and my mindset so much. Like, there are some times where I know Fadia is trying to get me pumped up on something to like really like go off or something, and I'm like, oh, you know, it's all good. And she's like, what? It's not all good. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's all good. Just be chill. And, you know, even people around me are just like, man, you don't like go off on people anymore. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Are you sick? Like, I literally have people ask me that. But it's just because I've learned the value of, you know, staying calm, making sure that I keep my composure, because if I'm going crazy, then it's going to spill over into my leaders on my team, and it's going to spill over into their leaders, and it's just going to be a team full of crazy people. I mean, my team is called LSD, but honey, we don't do drugs, okay? So we don't need to be acting all crazy like we psycho, like we doing drugs, okay? So, you know, go out and do the personal development. And like I showed you guys, like, I haven't even started on these CDs because I've been like so busy with the book reading and stuff. But like, some of these CDs have to do with like your potential and some conference call, like motivational stuff on success and attitude, keeping the faith, learning how to deal with fear, 5 keys to accomplishing your dreams, maintaining a great attitude. I mean, there's so much stuff out there, you guys, where whether you pay for it or you don't, there's too much stuff out there to help you. You know, just do what you got to do. Seek the help that you need. Follow the system, and just become successful, man. This stuff is too simple. Like, it's way too simple. Don't overcomplicate things. It's way too simple for that. Get out, talk to people, show the plan, 3-way call, get them to fill these papers out, and just keep doing it. That's it.
So beautiful.
I can't stand you.
Thank you so much, Key Amber, for taking time out to come on and share that with us. I mean, everything that she said, of course, I can attest to, and I think I've told her to her face before, but if I haven't, I'm so proud of the person that she's grown into. Because, yes, I remember those snaps and cuss-outs very well. But it wasn't just her, though. It was me as well. And it's so crazy how even when we disagree on a situation, we can have such a mellow conversation where you can ask Rashid, our upline, about being on the phone with us while we both yelling at the top of our lungs at each other. We were terrible. Oh, my gosh. But I love her, and just to see the fact that now the way she handles situations, she's continuously evolving this brand that she's built. You know, she went from being an F3 to hitting F4. I think it was August that she hit F4.
July.
July? Okay. To hitting F4 and branding herself as the 23 retired nurse, to now throwing up a status on Facebook and expecting at least 100 likes on it. People are really drawn and gravitate to her because she's so transparent. And, you know, what she does, she really does care about people. She's never, you know, straight on far as what she's doing as far as Wake Up Now is concerned. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of you. I love you, sis. Oh, my gosh. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, wait a second. I just now seen, okay. Someone asked me to talk about incorporating Wake Up Now into your daily life versus going out to prospect. Okay. What is the best? Okay, this is a perfect example. So, let's say that you were a BMW dealer, right? You sell BMWs on a car lot. What you have to understand that you are put in the position to talk about things under certain circumstances. So if I'm a BMW dealer, right, I'm not going to go out to the mall and start talking to people about buying a BMW. I'm just not. Like, that's weird, right? And I'm also not going to be at a Mercedes dealership trying to talk to people about BMWs and why they're better. It's a time and a place for everything, okay? Now, it's different if, let's say you're out at a lounge, right, with some friends, and, you know, you guys start talking to another group of people, you guys are just chatting, and somebody brings up in the conversation, man, you know, I've been looking into, you know, buying a new car, and you ask them, so what kind of car do you want to buy? And they say, oh, I'm looking into getting a BMW. Bingo! You start talking to them about how you sell BMWs, okay? But if, let's say, the conversation goes to where somebody wants a Chevy, it's not your job to convince them on why they need a BMW. It's just not the time and the place. So when you purposely go out and talk to people, you really kind of set yourself up for failure because it's really about conversation and building relationships, okay? Because at the end of the day, I'll say this. The Wake Up Now products and services are for everybody. I don't care who you are. They're for everybody. Now, the business aspect might not be for everybody, but I'm just talking about the products and services, period, okay? So, because the products and services are for everybody, you don't have to go out and just start handing out flyers. I haven't printed out a flyer a day in my life to hand out to anybody to go put up on anybody's tree or anybody's laundromat or anybody's mall. I've never done that before, and I don't think it's necessary. You're wasting time, okay? Because if I'm in the conversation, let's say I'm having a conversation with someone on a plane, okay? They ask me what I do, I ask them what they do, you know, whatever the case may be. And let's say somewhere in the conversation, you know, they're talking about, you know, how one of their kids is about to go off to college, right? I might sit there and spin the conversation and say, man, you know, I remember when I went off to college, my expenses were crazy. I still have student loans out the wazoo. You know, I'm still trying to pay them down. Blah, blah, blah. College can be very crazy, especially when you're trying to get a job and you're trying to work around schedules, whatever. You know, I'm going to say whatever it is. So it's your job to get them to kind of peak. They're going to have to give you the reason why you need to talk to them about Wake Up Now. Because if you don't tailor the conversation to make them tell you why they need Wake Up Now, guess what? They don't need Wake Up Now, so don't talk to them about it. So if they start talking about, you know, yeah, you know, I remember when I went off to college, I had, you know, a lot of student loans too, and it took me my whole 10 years to pay off my student loans. I can then go back and say, yeah, well, I've been paying my student loans off a lot quicker because, you know, the business that I started and the social distribution network that I've started, you know, one of my bonuses every month that I get goes towards paying my student loans down. What? Really? There you go. Or maybe Maybe it's not something where they talk about how they need extra money for something. Maybe, they start talking about the different expenses that their child will have to, endure going through college. Well, guess what? Everybody wants to save money, right? So at that point, you can start talking about how, the network that you've built, some of the products and services actually help you to save money on things. You might tell them, I know college students don't do too much grocery shopping because a lot of them might eat out of the cafeteria, but still they need snacks and different things like that. I have access to grocery coupons. We also have an app on our phone that you can download because I know students like to eat out at restaurants all the time. It's an app called WUN Local. I might open it up and show them how I might get discounts on Six Flags tickets through the entertainment part, whatever. You have to tailor it to that conversation. If we're sitting here talking about college kids, guess what I'm not going to talk about? I'm not going to talk about certain, but I'm going to specifically talk about the grocery coupons. I'm going to talk about that student loan bonus that they might end up getting if they decide they want to be distributors and not just be customers. I'm not going to talk to college students about TaxBot, okay? I'm just not. It's not appropriate at all. Another thing you might talk about with college students is WUN Finance. Guess what? Most college students are broke. The little bit of money, they refund money that they get, or their parents might give them money every month for food, whatever. Most of the time they blow through it because they have no idea where their money is, right? So those are the 3 products I might focus on. The grocery coupons, the WUN Local. I also might talk about the free stuff. College students, they love free stuff. And I'm going to talk about the WUN Finance. That's it. Because guess what? Even if they don't ask me how to be a part of that, or, oh, you make money too. If they never talk about the making money part, I can sell them just on that part alone. And they could be a customer of the Platinum package, and that's it. Don't have to worry about it. So you have to understand that it's your responsibility, like I said, to tailor a normal conversation and basically probe people. And you don't want to sound like a private investigator or something like that, or like you to police. Don't do that, because people are not going to be responsive to that. But if you just have normal conversations and you probe them and you ask them questions and you're giving them this part of your life and different things like that, they are going to tell you why they need something that has to do with this company. Think about it. If I'm having a conversation with Fadia, right? And let's say we are talking about the crime that's in the area or something, right? So we're talking about some murder, whatever happens in our area. And let's say Fadia just comes out of nowhere and she's like, yeah, man, the crime is crazy. The other day I used my credit card at a gas station and a scammer, they scammed or skimmed my debit card. So now I have to worry about identity theft. Guess what Amber's going to talk about? You know what? I had issues, where I was really afraid of my safety when it came to identity theft protection or identity theft, but, and I wouldn't even say I'm a part of as if you're a distributor. I would say this company that I'm a customer of, they provide identity theft protection up to $25,000. So if my identity is stolen because of the rise of these people skimming our cards at gas stations, I'm protected. Guess what they're going to ask? Really? How do you do that? Boom. There's another sale. You got to be smart with stuff, people. That's it. So don't go out purposely to prospect. You're just going to give yourself a headache. Just have normal, everyday conversations with people. That's it.
Simple enough. Simple enough. I did post in my group chat if anybody wanted to ask any questions, but I didn't get anything back. So I think we can go ahead and end it here. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, Kiamber, before we wrap this up?
I love y'all. Boom.
You like? I think somebody likes the camera. I'm just saying, but
no, not at all.
No, but again, thank you so much for coming on. For the members of my team, this blueprint stuff that I've been talking about for the longest, see, I didn't make it up. It's good stuff. Not good stuff, it's great stuff. I have a new training group that has been created with not nearly enough of you guys into it. This is your chance to get plugged in. Reach out to myself and other leaders of the team. We'll tell you what you need to do and we'll get you plugged into it. We also have a text list where I actually do try. I'm not as well, I'm doing better at sending out daily messages. It could be, reminders, it could be motivation, it could be whatever. I want to make sure you guys are plugged into the chats. I want you guys to realize that you do have support, that again, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And if you don't want to help yourself, you'll find yourself by yourself. So that's all I really wanted to say in closing. Again, thank you so much, Kiamber. I love you, girl.
You're welcome.
And all right, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you for tuning in.
Peace out.